Good evening. I am Revun Siddhappa MB, Assistant Professor, Government First Grade College, Namati, Davangere District. BA Degree Program, Optional English, 6th semester, session number 45. Topic is D.H. Lawrence's Sons and Lovers, Story in a Nutshell. And this is the paper number 9. It is an elective paper, 20th century literatures first. It is prescribed by Davangere University, Davangere. These are the learning objectives of this session. To enable the students to understand the plot in short, and the session outcomes, student will be able to understand the story in a nutshell. Okay, during the last two sessions, we have discussed the brief biography of the novelist David Herbert Lawrence, and he was born in 1885, England, and he was the son of a coal miner, and his name was Arthur, and his mother was Lydia. And the novel Sons and Lovers has some autobiographical links that I already told you in the last few sessions. And the major characters of this novel related to this issue, there are only 7 major characters in this novel, and they are: Paul Morrell is the main character of this novel. Related to him, he is the main character, and there are other major characters other than Paul Morrell. Paul Morrell was a sensitive artist, that you know. Gertrude Morrell and William Morrell, Miriam Leviers, Clara Dawes. These 4 characters are the other major characters. Okay, so Gertrude Morrell was a miserable housewife and also mother of Paul Morrell, and William Morrell is a brother of Paul Morrell, and he was the first son of Gertrude Morrell. And Miriam Leviers was the lover of Paul Morrell. She was thoughtful, religious young woman. And Clara Dawes was a lover of Paul Morrell, and she was sensual suffragette. Okay. Other than these 4 characters, there are 2 more minor characters. They are Walter Morrell. He was the alcoholic miner and also father of Paul Morrell and husband of Gertrude Morrell. Baxter Dawes was the another minor character, and he was the husband of Clara Dawes. He was a jealous factory worker. So these are the 7 important characters. Other than these characters, we have Annie, and then Arthur and Lily. They are other minor characters, but they are not so important. Fine. Now let us directly go for the novel Sons and Lovers and its plot. Part 1. This novel was published in 1913. Sons and Lovers is the novel of 2 generations: sons as lovers and sons and their lovers. Mr. Walter Morrell and Mrs. Gertrude Morrell have married out of passion and love when in youth, but it has gradually been diminished. It documents the life of the Morrell family, which is totally unhappy, tense, and uneasy. The Morrells live in a mining town of Bestwood, England, in the late 1800s. Walter Morrell works as a coal miner. When the novel opens, the couple have 2 children, William and Annie. And Mrs. Morel is unhappily pregnant for the third and expecting the third child when the novel begins. With the help of her neighbor, she delivers the third child, who is named Paul. Mrs. Morel does not really want any more, but her bondage has forced her to do so because she is being married to that man, that is Mr. Walter Morel. She is supposed to manage her husband's temper and caring for the children. She hates being a woman who is to play the role of housemaking, begetting children, and taking care of her children. Mr. Morel is spending money carelessly and recklessly for drinking and comes home late night. Every day he used to quarrel with his wife, and usually their quarrel ends by beating up of his wife. So she was disgusted and she was disappointed by marrying such a drunken person. After the birth of the fourth child, Arthur, the Morel family is complete. Mrs. Morel, being disgusted of her choice of her husband, has no good compatibility with him, as he is sensuous only. She transfers all of her love and affections from her husband to her first son, William, who is intelligent and active. He is the mother's favorite. He wins awards, doing well in school, and finding jobs easily. He pleases her in doing so. William goes to London for a job. He brings money, but Mrs. Morel misses him and is devastated. William comes home, bringing with him his fiancée, Lily, a young lady with whom he dates. She treats the Morels like servants. Mrs. Morel envies and does not accept her. William has spent too much time at work, and with his fiancée, William catches pneumonia and has the skin disease and eventually dies in the hospital. After William's death, Mrs. Morel falls into deep depressions. After a few months, Paul falls seriously ill and almost dies. But Mrs. Morel rouses herself to nurse him back to health. In this, she was successful. She now devotes her life entirely to Paul. And unlike William, Paul returns his mother's affection in equal measure. Paul prizes his mother and treats her like a lover. The two travel together to Nottingham when Paul receives a job offer, as if they are lovers. Although Paul knows the family needs his money, he longs for nothing more than to buy a little cottage in which he and his mother can grow old together. Such was the bond and future plan of Paul due to his mother fixation. In other words, it is also called as Oedipus complex. Now let us go for the second part of the novel. Um, Being always sensitive and emotional, Paul gets a job at Thomas Jordan's, a surgical appliances factory, as a clerk. Paul, along with his mother, visits Mr. and Mrs. Livier's Willie farm. This is the important incident in this novel. There he meets the farmer's daughter, a serious, thoughtful, timid, religious, and intellectual girl named Miriam, and both become friends in no time. Mrs. Morel dislikes Miriam because, in her view, Miriam takes all of Paul's energy, desire, and feelings with nothing left of him for her. She warns her son. Both young boy and girl discuss literary works together, walk together in the forum, stay in the room together. Miriam realizes that she is in love with Paul, but she feels ashamed of this physical attraction because it clashes with her religious views. Paul wins a prize for his painting in Nottingham exhibition. After Paul and Miriam have some union, he decides that he feels she is too spiritual and breaks off their relationship, to Miriam's anger and bitterness. However, they continue their platonic relationship till the end of the novel. Miriam introduces Paul to Clara Davis, whose mother is friendly with Mrs. Levius and who is separated from her husband Baxter Davis, who also works in the same factory where Paul was working. Paul thinks that Clara is a man hater. It was his assumption only. As she is involved with the suffragettes, she is not a man hater. However, he launches into an intensely sexual relationship with Clara. Paul does not feel fulfilled. Miriam is jealous that the Morals have accepted Clara as Paul's lover but not her. Paul and Clara share a passionate sexual relationship. As much as Paul thinks that he is happy, his mother believes otherwise, but she hopes that it will not continue for a long time and cannot take her son's soul out, so that she has allowed and permitted Paul to have a relationship with Clara Davis, because Clara Davis was already a married woman, so that she feels comfortable not with Miriam but with Clara Davis. After Paul and Clara's dating, and they return from theatre by wearing suit, Baxter Davis and Paul have a fight, and he had seen his wife who was loitering with Paul Morel, and so that there was a fierce fight goes on between them. And in that fight, Paul was bitterly injured. Although both men bitterly hate each other, they feel connected to each other after Paul visits Baxter in the fever hospital, and he had left some money for Baxter Davis. Mrs. Morel grows weaker and older and falls gravely ill because of a tumor. The doctor who treats her tells Paul that Davis is in the hospital for his fever treatment. Paul visits Davis in the hospital and leaves some money, that I already told you. Both are reconciled by this incident. Paul tells Clara that Davis is ill. Clara visits her husband Baxter Davis and nursed him to recuperate his health. She declares that her husband had treated her with more respect and had loved her more than Paul ever did. Clara returns to Davis. This is the another important event that takes place in this novel. Meanwhile, Mrs. Morel's disease rises up. She is prolonging her death to live for Paul. Paul and Annie fear that she will live longer than she can emotionally survive. Paul and Annie cannot stand to see their mother live in such pain and suffering. They give her an extra dosage of morphine with milk. Mrs. Morel dies the next day. She is buried alongside her first son William's grave. He sees Miriam outside the church one night and invites her to his house. Miriam is sad to see his sad condition and suggests to get married. However, Paul rejects her. And Miriam decides that she will never see him again. Paul comes back home filled with emotion about his relationship with his mother, contemplating suicide. However, in the end, he decides to start a new life without either woman. And at the end of the novel, it was the dusk, I think, and during that time, he starts his journey towards city. Here ends this novel. So this is the overall plot of this novel. Thank you. Okay, in this way, this novel presents number of themes and symbols. And this novel is told by a third person omniscient narrator. This novel is written in past tense. Okay. Part first stays close to Mrs. Morel's story and her experiences, while part 2 is more about Paul as he tries to break free of his feelings of entrapment among the contradictory emotions of his family life. Mother's excess of love and passion has almost destroyed two of her sons, and their adult love meets with failure just because of the love that is being shown by their mother. And if you carefully observe this novel as a whole and how the plot is developed, we come to know that the title itself is ambiguous, Sons and Lovers. And it suggests that a woman's son might become the lover of another woman, or that a son might become an incestuous lover to his mother. It is already seen. This second interpretation provides a nod towards the novel's Oedipal theme, based on the myth of Oedipus, who was cursed to marry his mother and kill his father. The character of William and Paul Morel might be viewed as both Mrs. Morel's sons and also lovers. And in this occasion, I would like to tell you a few more characters. Oedipus, the king who was unconscious in desiring his mother, he did not know. The woman he married and the person who killed was actually his father, but he did not know that thing. And the woman he married later, he was his mother, but he did not know that. But there is the reference to Hamlet's wife, that is Gertrude. Here in this novel, we have that character, Gertrude. See, there was the character called Prince Hamlet, who desires his mother unconsciously. But here, Paul Morel, he knows that his attraction to his mother is incestuous, but he was helpless in the situation. So these are the things to be noted. And this novel, according to some critics, is also called as Bildungsroman. Bildungsroman novel means education based coming of age novel that developed in many cultures in the last century. Traditionally, Bildungsroman novels depict a character's coming of age or transition from childhood to adulthood, particularly in reference to their understanding of the world. In Sons and Lovers, the readers not only witness Paul's physical maturity from child to adult, but they also witness his change of awareness. As he takes different girls as lovers, however, Paul realizes he will never find true passion while his mother is still alive. That is to be noticed. So, this is the plot of Sons and Lovers. Thank you.